A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Damn. Cooler and I'm flyer too.
What's good? What's good, everybody? Man, it's been a busy the past couple of days. You hear me? But hey, we back at it again, man. A1 Forever Sports, Chris Tip Moore. I had to have some Braves talk this time, man. Can't forget about our Atlanta Braves. Off season talk now, of course, because the season is over. You know who won the World Series. I ain't got to tell you, and I'm not going to talk about it. But I definitely wanted to have my bros on here, man. Had to get a video in with the plug. RJ, the plug ATL is on here. And I'm just saying, I found out today that we have a big Braves fan, and he goes by the name of Debo.
Hey,
So at the same time, I had
Yes,
to
sir.
bring
just
both of the
saying.
gentlemen in today, Had to bring both of the gentlemen in. So RJ, Debo, how y'all feeling? Tell the people what's good.
Man, it's your boy Debo right here, man. I'm feeling fantastic, man. It's hate week in reference to the Falcons and the Saints. But right now, like you said, we're gonna do some chop talk about our Braves and Anthopoulos we trust, and
Yeah.
making some off-season moves already. And we're gonna see what's going to happen in the long run, man. I'm excited about it though.
Yes, sir. Plug walk. What's good, man?
Nothing much. Happy to be back on here, man. Talking to these Braves, and of course, like Debo said, hate week, trying to beat these Saints up, and then move on to Denver. I know these some trap games, so I can't really, underestimate them. But shoot, I'm looking for a big W's before the bye week. In what, a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. I'm telling you, man. But yeah, man. Oh,
You there, Chris?
but how did you guys feel about down the stretch? Get heading into the playoffs, and actually the result of the Braves. Us getting bounced out.
Man, I mean, the way we got into it, the way we got to the playoffs itself, I already knew, man, it was going to be a struggle because when you get into a play-in against the New York Mets, and it would have been nice if we can get in a whole different way, but we got in. That's one thing, we got in. But
Yeah.
the whole fact that we couldn't use Sale in any of the games right there, and then we go in to face the Padres, and
Yeah.
there's this in which way. I mean, you feel good getting to the playoffs, man. You made it. You made it. You good job. But then we get those bad vibes, and on top of that, you don't have your full arsenal of individuals that you got there to get to the playoffs. It's gonna cause some uneasiness. And
Right.
a couple days later, we found out what happened when the Padres took care of us. Unfortunately, man.
Yeah, man. RJ, man, let them know what's good. What your thoughts were, man, about the Rays. A team that really wasn't even supposed to make the postseason when you think about it, all the injuries. We have never seen a team go through so many mainstream major player injuries, messing up the lineup, and still be able to make it to the postseason. But either way it go, what was your thoughts about it though, RJ?
Man, it just lets me know like about, with double A, getting replacements for injuries such as Austin Riley, Acuna, Strider. I mean, he know how to get the right pieces just to get that bridge over the hump to get to the playoffs. So I definitely congratulate double A and what he did. And of course, Snick, keeping the crew together, getting them like still battle testing and everything ready for these games, especially the playoffs. My only head scratchers was with ownership when they had Hurricane was a Helene. They
Mm-hmm.
came
Yeah.
and they had an option to move one of the games up to the Monday or like Tuesday
Yeah.
to where we had to worry about like a double header. And I feel like with them, like even Rob Manfred said they gave the Braves the call, and their call was to go ahead and play a double header that Monday, the day before the playoffs. And I feel like that right there pretty much what gassed them out right there, because you earning two games just to make to the playoffs, and you got to run into a well-rested, high-powered Padres team that's just it was just straight.
The very next day.
Yes,
Yeah.
just straight Lethal and Tatis and them boys and Machado, I was like, you know what, I'm done.
Hey, now, but I understand. Hey, you want to know something crazy though? Even with all those things up against the Braves, I still felt
Mike Wigan out.
that
Chris, you
when they
here?
said no Chris Sale. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. We hear you now, bro. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my bad. Oh, I know what's going on. Let me. All right, I'm back now. So, but yeah, so when didn't have Chris Sale, that just did it all for me. I was like, man, we not gonna be able to overcome this because already knew we was gonna have to use Max Fried, and he was on short rest. I already knew AJ Smith Sharper was put in a terrible situation. I really hated for him, but it's what we had to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody really felt that AJ was just going to come out there and dominate no freaking Padres. Nobody
No.
thought that really was watching this team and really just understand baseball. It would have been like an anomaly if he'd have went out there and been shutting down the Padres. But when we lost Chris Sale to the back spasms, I was hoping it was just a pump fake, but it was not. It was real. And
Right.
after that, I was like, man, we're not going to be able to overcome that. It's just too much.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, New York Mets, you better thank your lucky stars, okay? You really need to go get you a Hurricane Helene shirt because your season was over if Hurricane Helene didn't show up.
It was
We had
over.
we had Chris Sale, Max Fried, and Swally up, and Swally had already beat you. Next was Chris Sale, then Max Fried. Your season was done.
Yep.
But things happen, and I really hate it, but I was very encouraged, kind of just like what RJ was saying about Double A being able to navigate this lineup and this team and still get us to the postseason when we were not supposed to be. I'm just being honest. Too many injuries, so many injuries. Pitching staff losing aces, losing your MVP, losing what I'm saying, your Golden Glove third baseman. Matt Olson had an off year.
Horrible year. Yeah.
Saying
And the thing about it,
Ozzy
Chris,
Albies.
yeah, Ozzy Albies, and the thing about it, Chris, we like you said, we lose our MVP and Cunha. We lose Strider, but then on midway through the season we lose AJ Minter. So it's like
Mhm.
injury after injury after injury, and
And
then
you lost Freed for some time.
free some time
Yeah.
and rally for some time. So this team was totally patchwork, and the whole fact that AA Anthopoulos was able to keep it together and shout to Snip, man, to get us to the playoffs. That in and of itself was promising, but at the end, like you said, dude, when I saw that first game against the Padres, I was like, nah, I ain't gonna watch this no more, man. It's
Yeah, man, it was just terrible. We had no chance. We didn't have any shot. We get the Braves really just conked out. It was too much. It was too many injuries. And the thing about it is, we had even more injuries that we didn't even name. You really can go about a minute, 2 minutes, talking about all the injuries that just happened with the Braves the entire season.
absolutely.
It's crazy to think about like how good the Braves really can be to still make the playoffs. But we're in the off-season talk, man. So
Yeah.
let's talk about it, man. First and foremost, before we get to Max Fried, let's talk about the trade that happened. Former World Series hero for the Atlanta Braves, Jorge Soler came back. Had Luke Jackson, traded off Tyler Maxick. Jorge, what I'm saying, he came here, did some things, but we had to make a trade. Had to do what I think would be a salary dump, and we traded Jorge Soler to our old friend Ron Washington out there in the Los Angeles Angels. Guys, how do you feel about the move? I'm going to start with Debo and then Plug Walk.
Well, it was a salary dump, I believe, and AA, I think that it was a total salary dump. By removing Jorge Soler, that does take out. I think that saves us about 13 million off of next year's payroll. But at the same
16.
time, how much?
6.
16?
Yep.
Yeah, 16 million. So, but at the same time, there was a logjam in that DH spot between Soler and Ozuna.
Mhm.
So you're not going to sit here and then have Soler hold that money up when you got Ozuna, where you're going to exercise his option and pick him up. So it made perfect sense, but at the same time, Chris, you said it best. It was a total salary dump. It saves us, like you guys said, it saves us that money off the payroll next year, and frees up some space for us to make other moves for AAA. But I mean Double A. But it didn't make sense for us to move on from Soler. He is a hero from what he did in the World Series. But overall, like I said, with that log jam at the DH spot, you had to let one go, and was going to be Azuna, it had to be Soler.
Indeed.
Definitely, yeah, definitely agree. Especially with Jorge Soler, like he can't really do the outfield anymore. I mean, he's not that athletic like he was, a couple of seasons ago. So of course, when Double A brought him back, and I don't even want to mention the other guy name. Um, but yeah, Jorge Soler, we was just really hoping for his bat and stuff. It was, decent to below average, not like what he used to, especially with him, like, going to the outfield, getting out there, working stuff. So, I mean, change of scenery is definitely what's best for him. Still keep his big contract, run Washington, and go ahead and motivate him back in DH. Hopefully, he can get back together. And of course, we're getting back a guy, Griffin Canning, who had a very awful season, 6-17 with a over 5 ERA, and luckily he's on a final year of his arbitration, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
so he can easily get non-tendered, and that's like projected about 5 million if I'm remember correctly. So I mean, it's just something that just needed to happen.
Right. So what you're basically saying, RJ, is it's a possibility we may not even keep Mr. Canning if we need that money for a bigger move.
Exactly. I mean, I'm looking right now. This is actually his third of fourth arbitration, so he's projected to get 5.4 million. He ain't getting that. So I can see him definitely getting probably non-tendered unless the Braves probably like they want to keep him just to battle for a spot. He can settle for at least a million and a half probably. But other than that, yeah, that money can like easily go like somewhere else.
Okay, that sounds about right too, man. Again, like I said, salary dump. It had to happen. Yeah, if you look at the production, you're not going to get rid of Marcell Ozuna. Marcell Ozuna actually has been, as far as like you can say, midway or more than midway of last season, going into this season. Honestly, you look at the body of work, Marcell Ozuna has been very productive for the Atlanta Braves.
Oh yeah.
1 year it was from a home run standpoint. This year, I believe it was from a home run standpoint, but more so just like a hitting standpoint. Marcel, and of course, in the locker room, I'm saying Marcel is gonna do his thing. But it would just made more sense to keep Marcel Ozuna. And it made more sense to salary dump to get rid of Jorge Soler. It wasn't personal. Definitely
No.
all business because you know how the Braves like to do, and the Braves have some decisions they have to make. It's more contracts that are kicking in this year, so they still have to pay some money off. But if I'm not mistaken, the Braves do have some money to spend. Am I right, RJ?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking at the calculations per spot track. As of right now, the CBT, the tax looking at for 2025 is at 241 million. And as of right now, with the Braves working out with the players, they already have established contracts. Of course, pre-arbitration players that's on the 40-man squad. So we currently have 37 players on the 40-man squad. So we have 3 openings. Maybe some more moves may happen to free up some spots. And I'm looking at close to around 53.7 million in cap space.
Mm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, I got a question for you, man. It's some rumblings going out there about Orlando Arcia, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando Arcia, I feel like defensively, Orlando Arcia is damn near untouchable. Defensively.
Hmm.
When it comes to his bat, of course, his bat doesn't have the pop like our former guy, Dansby Swanson, even though he's doing absolutely nothing out there in Chicago.
Mhm.
Correct.
So, yeah, absolutely doing nothing in Chicago. But uh, can you guys see maybe Willie Hermes or something like that possibly in the works? You know, to bring in to have a guy with some defense and with a pop in the bat, or is that just a pipe dream, guys?
I think one guy that in particular that I would like to see here, and there's been some talks about bringing him in. Now the only thing about it, he has all defense in the world. He has a little bit of pop. Is a Bo Bouchette, the shortstop out of Toronto. I think he'd be a good fit here. But with all the salary, is with all the money that we have right now, I think the main focus for Double A will be um, it'll be arms race in reference to the relief pitching and maybe some
Yeah.
starting pitching. But at the same time, Chris, I wouldn't say no to anything. But if we did have to bring somebody like Boba Shea, I think will work in good. But with like I said, with Double A, anything can go any kind of assignment that he can do to improve the team and definitely bring some offense. Like you said, we haven't had offense from the shortstop since Dansby and it by a wide margin, So it would be good to have some pop, at that shortstop position. I totally agree with that, though.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
same with me. Um, even like making the trades and stuff, it always makes me wonder, like how much like trade option does Double A have in the farm system? Because he has drained it like for the past couple of seasons to the point it ain't been that good as it once was. So like of course you have like top prospect Mr. Drake Baldwin, who I will bring back up in a minute. And like, you have AJ Smith Sharver, Hurston Waldrell, and them guys. It makes you wonder like, what double A, thinks about in regards to his future starting pitching from the farm system that could bring up and mold to become the next, Braves like, future.
Mm.
And in regards to like, shortstop, if they don't get like Willie Adames, because I'm looking at the Mets already offered him a contract, looks like about 7 years, 160 million, but they want to move him to third base. And last I check,
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
correct. So of course, the Dodgers, there's definitely rumblings about Dodgers already offered him a contract. Ain't no telling how much, but I mean, of course, it may be looking kind of good, but if Double A tries to pull the trigger and go competitive, he has that option. And because and as well as like Orlando Arcia, at this point, he's right now to me utility guy. I
Hmm.
mean,
I agree.
he should be definitely like coming off the bench, basically in relief of an outfielder or second base, third base. 'Cause at that point, he ain't got to be at bat as much, but his defense is definitely like needed. He is, of course, still got the all star caliber defense at shortstop. So I think that'd be probably what be best for him going forward, especially with him having at least 2 years left in his contract, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, but ain't no telling what Double A may, have up his sleeve.
Right, man. That makes perfect sense as well, man. I think at the end of the day, you have to at least, you know what I'm saying, make some phone calls, man. You have to just see what you can work out because you see what the Dodgers did.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, they were able to make moves in the offseason. You were thinking that they were championship moves in the offseason, but of course, with the Braves having the lineup that they had, and of course, like on paper, I'm still like, hey, y'all doing all this, but I still believe in this team, especially if we're able to be clicking on all cylinders, and then of course the injuries happen. But you see the Dodgers, they went and they made the moves. They got the championship. They're the
Yeah.
World Series champions again. And my thing is, I think sometimes you do have to put out a little bit if you're talking about trying to really be serious. Now, will the Braves do that? I don't know. But guys, I believe that we need to spend some money this offseason. I ain't saying go crazy, but we do need to make some significant moves with the money standpoint and get some guys in here that really can move the needle for the Braves. And hopefully next year we're hoisting that trophy. What do you guys think?
Yeah, hopefully so, man. And I want to pivot right quick, if we could, just real briefly, man. In reference
No
to
problem.
Max Fried, man.
Oh yeah,
And
we're getting the Max Free. That's the
okay,
very next thing.
okay,
That's
well,
actually
yeah,
the very
I'll
next
hold
thing.
off on that then. But yeah, definitely, man. Like, but see that thing with Anthopoulos, he does things methodically, and I don't see him getting spending all that cap in a payroll to get a big time name.
I know.
That I don't think that it'd be nice to do something like the Dodgers did.
It'd be great.
Unfortunately, it'd be great. It'd be great. However, with that being said, you do look at the moves Anthopoulos has made in the past couple of years, particularly 3 years ago or 4 years ago. That those moves that he made methodically got us a World Series title. So I don't think it requires a big time name. However, it would be nice. So I totally agree with you with that, Chris.
Yeah, man. And the only reason I say that real quick before you go, RJ, only
Mhm.
reason I say that is just because I see what Alex Anthopoulos has done with pretty much just scraping and scratching, scraping, trying to get by,
Mm,
and he's been able to do some wonderful things. So I'm just like I have all the confidence that if you give him a loaded roster and everything like that, or just give him a few extra pieces to make this team go, that he's going to be able to make it work financially. I think he's that smart of a guy, and honestly, he's earned that so that respect from the Braves fan base just from being able to make moves since he's came in.
right.
So I guess I'm just looking at. I see, I know you can't, saying be the Mets and pay a guys a bunch of money and then go nowhere. I don't think we're that type of organization. I think we're a better organization than the New York Mets. I think we can make smarter decisions. And if you do give the Braves, like I said, that loaded roster, or at least there's a few more guys that can move the needle, I think Alex can work some wonders with the salary cap, with making things work, with making guys wanting to stay and play here, to play in the A. I just feel like we're a better organization.
Yeah, definitely agree. Especially like you said, Double A. He knows how to budget sign. Like, let me sign this guy. I know we can like resurrect his career. I mean, we got the coaching staff that can actually help out these players. Get right back to track. I mean, look at Jesse Chavez. He'll go to another team. He'll struggle. He come back here. It's like he ain't miss a beat. So like his IQ most definitely is definitely like what to be applaud, especially with him got to go to meetings with ownership and let them know like how much he's allowed to spend and stuff like that. So I mean, he just know how to like manage it. Now, if we could get somebody like you know what Shohei Ohtani did, get that big
Yeah,
contract, but deferred
man.
most of that to the back end as
The
soon as he
back
like
end.
probably
Yeah.
retire. I mean, that'd be something you would get,
Hey,
I can help with that.
that's something that definitely helped out the Dodgers because I just knew I was like, oh, the Dodgers ain't gonna be able to do nothing. But then when I read the verbiage of the contract, I said, God almighty no.
Mm.
Exactly. He sacrificed for real. He thought about it like, yeah, I'm gonna play now, but when I'm retired, he getting that bread. So he played that smartly.
Very,
Yeah,
very.
he did. He did. It was a smart move. Shout out to Tani and his team for that. That was just a business move. That's going to work out for him in the long run. But just to go ahead, it's time to pivot to the man of the hour, Maximus Freed. Oh, guys, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want to lose Max Freed.
Nor
Okay,
do I.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there in the universe. I don't want to lose Max Freed, guys, but I know it's definitely a possibility. Please, guys, starting with Debo because I know you was about to pivot to it anyway and
Mhm.
everything. Tell us your thoughts about Max Freed possibly being a Brave, possibly not being a Brave. Which way are you with it?
Um, my heart wants him to stay here, of course. Business wise, I can't see him being here. I think we've seen our last days of Max Fried. The only reason being is that, to my understanding, Double A wants to do a short term contract, probably 2 years of 30 million, and his camp is looking more about 5 years, 145 million. And when you look at that, the numbers, if the numbers aren't going to work, the numbers aren't going to work. And I think right now, Double A's focus his attention on the future, perhaps looking more into what's going on down the farm system. But going back to Max Fried though, it would be nice if we had Max Freed. It'd be nice if we also had Spencer Strider. It'd be nice if we had Chris Hill all in the actual same lineup. But numbers wise, financially, I just don't see it happen. So I think we seen the last of Max Freed in Braves uniform.
Yeah, especially Max Free. I'm looking at on Spy Track, his market value is at 22.7 million.
Right.
So no, like looking at that, he's definitely going to get around that, possibly more, probably like, I would say up to 25
Uh,
million. And I, to be quite honest, the one team I actually have a prediction on where he may sign is the Mets.
Ugh.
The Mets, like rebounding from like last season.
Look, him in a Mets uniform. I'm sorry.
Ugh. Ugh.
Ugh,
Well,
I
that's just a terrible taste in your mouth.
yes,
That's just like seeing Freddie in that Dodger uniform for the first time.
That
You know?
that's just like seeing Glav in that Mets uniform.
Oh,
yes,
Just saying, bruh. It could
yes,
be like that again. We could relive that shit, bro.
yeah. Like if he don't come here, I definitely do see what the Mets.
and for me, when we traded Ray Greg Maddox, that was another throw up. I was like, oh god.
I
Ugh.
just, yeah, I just don't. I just with the way the market is out there, and the way some clubs payroll is exponentially better than us. If Max Free can't get what he wants here, he's not taking no hometown discount. He's leaving. And
Hmm.
so if Double A wants to give a contract, he's Double A's not going to do it long term. He's going to keep it 2 years. If it's 2 years, there's no way we're going to see Max Fried ever again in Braves uniform.
Yeah, and to add to that point, T. Will is not here, but this is definitely one of his talking points. Max Fried is a union guy as well,
Oh
and
wow.
he's going to be needing to get that money to to set a standard for the union. Of course, us as fans, we like forget that union, man. Go ahead and take that hometown discount because we know you don't want to leave. We know
Right.
you were crying at your locker. What I'm saying, looking at it because you're thinking this may be over with. You want to be here, we know that, but at the same time, you have an obligation to the MLB. And
Yeah.
we talk about things being not being bigger than logos here in Atlanta. It's the same thing, kind of like when you think about MLB. So that's something else that we got to think about. I would love to keep Max Fried, but each day that goes by, it's kind of like settling in more and more for me that Max Fried has played his last days in a Braves uniform,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and then it doesn't get any better as far as rotation is concerned because whenever a pitcher does his thing, of course, he only has the arm can only hold up for so long.
Hmm.
And I was under the impression that Charlie Morton was going to retire, and by him retiring, of course, bringing another younger arm into the rotation. But apparently, Charlie Morton is open to coming back, so
Yeah,
he might be back in rotation this upcoming year. And he's
Yeah.
and there's times with Charlie Morton you can get two Charlies, the good one and the bad one.
yeah.
And when you get that bad one, you get the real bad one. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the Braves will do in reference to that. What kind of contract would they offer to him? Like a 1 year, 12 million, I guess. I don't know. But all signs were looking to him to retire. Charlie Morton might be back in the Braves uniform next year.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
something to consider, especially if the Braves don't have any more options. They
Right.
like, Old Faithful is right there. We
Right.
put them in the rotation. It would make sense. Some Braves fans may not like it. I mean, for me, I think Charlie's had a wonderful career, and I think it's time to go elsewhere. By me personally, but I can definitely understand the move if we end up seeing Charlie again. It's kind of like an easy move.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah.
Very. Absolutely. So. Yeah. For sure.
And
But
like I said, it's all about the money. I mean, like for his last season, he got 20. Market value from Spot Track has him at 17.6 million. But
Hmm.
if he can take that 1 year, let's say 12 million, maybe 10 million,
Right.
I can take it. I mean,
No more than no more than 12 though.
yeah,
And that's at the high end.
yes,
and I know that's kind of sad to say that about him, but I mean that's just the reality of the situation for Atlanta. We just know how GM like to move. It's just like how we talk about with Terry Fontenot.
and how he didn't make moves at that trade deadline. You kind of just know how you got to know how your GM move, and it's just like it's a pattern, and things that would throw off the pattern would be to sign Max Fried to a long term contract.
And that's yeah, and that's something that we won't see, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey man, dang, my bad, y'all. I ain't even realized this whole time we've been talking with Clint Capella in the
Yeah,
background.
Clint was in the background, bro. He was back there throwing it down, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, Clint back there. Hey man, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Excuse
Clint
me,
was back
brought
there,
in the
man.
mix
He's
too.
back there
I thought
throwing
I
it
had
down.
changed, I thought I had changed it out, but man, the doggone picture didn't even upload. So it is what it is. Hey, we've done the show. Clint, shout out to Clint Capella. He had a good night last night. Anyway, he had 18 points. You know, some about 6 rebounds.
Hey, shout out to Risha Shea, man. 33 points, no turnovers.
Yeah.
Indeed, 33 points, no turnovers. I think like the first, like he's like the fourth guy in NBA history to do that or something like that, or at
Oh,
least recently. I know Bron, KD, I think LaMelo Ball on that list. You know, so uh, he's in some company now. He did some,
And Kobe's on that list too.
yeah. Kobe's on the list. That's what I'm saying. Like he really is on two different lists for being under 20 years old doing what he did last night. So he made some history, and there was some legends. I know it's just one game, but you get to see what Zach could do. You know, 33 points from a 19-year-old rookie who doesn't play
yes.
like it. Man, you gotta love that.
Yeah.
Let,
But
let me ask
fellas,
y'all. Let me ask y'all a question right quick, man.
okay,
Reference to
yeah,
the Braves, the relief pitching. Now we
okay,
lost AJ Mentor, and a couple days back we lost Jimenez for the entire. But we Jimenez might be done for the whole 2025 season with a knee injury, with a knee surgery.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, do you see AAA? I'm actually seeing AAA, Double A trying to actually remedy that with a high end name, or do you think he will just try to patchwork it together with some lower end names that come into the organization to fill those voids?
man. If it's me, I'm just looking at the habits of the GM, and I honestly think that he possibly may make one or two small moves to try to see if you can get a guy to come in and be in your bullpen.
Hmm.
He's going to look at the roster and see if he's already there, and if he's not there in his mind, then he's going to probably make a little small move
Hmm.
to make it happen because we need pitching. Pitching was one thing that kept us going last year, so I think
Yes.
we kind of like harp on that more so than a bat. Um, as far as like priority, I'm not saying we're not going to go get a bat. I'm just saying as far as priority, I think priority may be pitching. Um, but we'll see, man. We'll see. That's just my opinion. I think just thinking about Double A, I think he's going to probably make a small move and not a splash. What you think, RJ?
To be quite honest, I think he probably already have his replacement in on the team.
The team, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be was it Desbel Hernandez? I mean, you talking about he even in the playoffs he was doing his thing. So I think he's going to be there, like definitely going to be like pivotal in regards to like the later innings because his fastball and mix of his pitches it looked real good. And of course, you have two other pitchers that was like out all last season that they got like Ray Kerr and
Right,
Angel, and Angel Perdomo, and they even got a guy back that they traded for our what's our catcher name
Sean Murphy.
Sean Murphy. They actually claimed him off waivers, so they look to probably see him probably like try to rebound with the Braves. While like not really successful with the Oakland. So
that's a contract that we got to get off too, man. That Sean Murphy contract, we got to get off that thing some kind of way. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we got to figure out a way to get that contract out of here, man. Because Sean do enough for me, Renault. He just doesn't do enough for me, man.
to
Well,
be
like
quite
like RJ said, man, we do. Well, we let go of Darno, and we didn't
Give
pick
me
up his
Drake
option.
Cole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I tell you, man. I tell you. But just like RJ said, we do have that prospect, Drake Baldwin. So yeah, he's a catcher, right?
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're looking at that. But yeah, that Sean Murphy, that the contract, and more importantly, what he does on the field is all you can do is just shake your head. Let me ask y'all a question. Did y'all know? Because I'm thinking about the whole relief thing. Did y'all know that Michael Soroka was a reliever now?
Yeah,
He's
What?
actually a free agent too.
Yeah, would that be something y'all be open to? Bring him back as in relief. But now, that's the only thing about it is, like you said a little bit ago, RJ, with him doing his thing, he's going to be demanding some money, and he's no longer someone we can try to sign on a minor league deal. He's actually going to demand some money because of the things he did late in the season as a reliever for the White Sox.
That's true. I mean, thing is, like he probably gonna cost that much because
okay.
Mm,
he's just not, like I said, coming from like what, back to back Achilles injuries,
that's true. Very true. Very
and
true.
like he had to change his mound stance and everything. So
Yeah, he had to
I mean,
change the whole style up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's like if they do decide to go for a reunion, I would not mind. I mean, I'm still upset we couldn't able to get Michael Kopech, who went to the Dodgers and he did his thing. I was like,
Yeah.
so man,
I hate it.
that pains me.
But yeah, man. Hey, if then you guys got anything else you guys want to pretty much add to this Braves talk? It's been great, man. Honestly, didn't even expect it to go this long, but that's how it is, man. When you got Tebow vibes and RJ the plug on here, man. But you said what now, RJ?
Yeah, I do want to add one more thing in regards to Drake Baldwin, in regards to like the projection of like where he may actually finally be promoted to the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
Looking at, of course, Sean Murphy, to be quite honest with him, I don't think he's really going anywhere because he knows how to call a good game.
Oh,
And
he does.
he
I can't
his,
take it from
his defense and throwing arm is like something like you can't replace. Bat wise, of course, the new hitting uh coach, yeah, I'm gonna need him to work with him.
Yeah.
But
from the.
other than that,
That's I forgot his name. I'm sorry, but from the Texas Rangers, correct?
yeah,
Yeah, hitting coach from the Rangers, and he won a World Series uh with another team as well.
yep.
Hmm.
So
So I
it,
would not mind, of course, with Darnold's contract option was declined. That basically kind of free, not just freed up money, but also opened the door for potentially Drake Baldwin to be promoted like pretty soon, if not this coming season, probably next season, especially with Marcelo Ozuna on his now final year of his contract, and we're thinking about DH and
Right.
everything like that. I
right.
mean, there could be, rumblings in regards to, having like three catches, having platoon the DH, like one catch. And of course, I would assume Chadwick Trump basically would be the backup to Sean Murphy for right now, because you don't really have to, you know, go like big on like a backup catcher for right now.
Right. Right. I agree with that. Man. Baldwin is a top prospect. They have rave reviews. Definitely been talking about him coming up, so it's definitely a possibility that we will see Drake Baldwin. I believe it's a good possibility, especially depending on how the off season goes,
Correct.
and then plus to see who's available for really like spring training and opening day. Probably see some Drake Baldwin, seriously. But yeah, man, fellas, I really want to thank you guys for doing this Braves talk with me.
Oh, for sure. You already
Oh
know.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely wanted to, to bring to the light on what the Braves are doing. Didn't want to just go unnoticed. So please, by all means, guys, let the people know where they can find you.
Hey man, it's your boy Debo Vibes right here. I'm the host of Debo Vibes Sports Dive, where I dive into the Atlanta Falcons, of course, and more importantly, also dive into their opponents each week, see how we shape up against the opponents. And this week is Hate Week, of course, so we'll see what we do or how much we're gonna beat the Aints by. I projected that we're gonna beat them, probably 45-3, but that's a different story for a different day. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I will be doing the Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Falcons New Orleans Saints review. My homeboy Chris Tipmore, he'll be joining me at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So please come by and check us out. YouTube, Debo Vibes, Instagram, The Real Debo Vibes. X Twitter is Debo Vibes. Smitty, shout out. What's up, Smitty? What's going on, your fam? And hey, let's see what happens with the Braves next year. Let's chop on and Anthopoulos we trust.
Yes, sir. Blood Walk.
Yes, y'all can find me on YouTube. Like I said, I've been busy, but trying to get my content up on my YouTube channel. Follow me at RJT for Life on YouTube, and also you can follow me on X at my real name Roster Heath Jr. Like I send breaking news and stuff to my crew with the 95 North Sports Machine. I'm also sharing it on my X account, so just go ahead and follow me if you need any type of updates. It'll be on my page.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about, man. Again, thank you to these two gentlemen for coming on, having this Atlanta Braves talk, man. You know what we do, man. We all about the A. We ATLians around here.
For sure.
So, man, definitely, like I said, thank you guys again. Shout out to Smitty coming through, showing some love. And we're going to get back to it, man. Shoot, man, Braves offseason, we'll have more talks.
Yep.
We also got the Hawks. They got Detroit tomorrow night after picking up that big win last night against New York. And, of course, hate week, rivalry week, Aints week, whatever you want to call it. It's going down on Sunday. Falcons with a golden opportunity to go 7-3, still be undefeated in the division. And just stacking wins and create distance. So that's what we all about, man. Thank you guys again. Of course, A1 Forever Sports, that's the platform on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Come by and have a sports conversation. Same thing for Instagram and Twitter, A1 Forever. And on TikTok, the real A1 Forever. Again, come through, stop by, give a like, comment, subscribe, and follow. Until next time, guys, for Debo Vibes, for RJ the Plug, and for myself, Chris Tipmore, we will holler, y'all.
A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam. Cooler and I'm flyer too.